Hey there, YouTube friends. maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And welcome to Cities Skylines 2 on the channel. I've been working for a long time trying to get this series to you, and we're going to see how it works. I'm having a hard time playing while thinking about making content. So if you're watching this, that means that whatever we came up with was good enough to put out there for everyone. I'm excited to play and share with you my ideas and my creations. I hope you're excited to see it. If you are excited for Cities Skylines, please do hit the like button. It would be much appreciated. And of course, if you're just finding me because of Cities Skylines, hi, my name is maskedbandit. I've been on YouTube for quite a while, mostly playing simulation games and mostly playing Planet Coaster. I did play several hundreds of hours of Cities Skylines, but most of that never saw the light of day. There's a couple series on my channels. Building Houston, tried to do that twice. It was really difficult. Had like a European city. But anyway, Cities Skylines 2. What I'd like to do is I'd like to use the city of Lakeland, and I'd like to start with a bit of a Bro Nation. If you're on our Discord server, Bro Nation, I'd like to start with a bit of a Bro Nation universe type thing. Build some cities and maybe have them connect somehow. Build some lore. Give reasons for why things exist. That's sort of what makes Bro Nation and my channel kind of unique. Our big series, Bro Coaster, we really dove into the lore and the history of why things are the way they are in a theme park. We try to do the same with a zoo in Planet Zoo, and so it only makes sense for me to try and do that with cities. That being said, I am not a city expert in any stretch, so I'm going to be leaning heavily on the community. So if you know a lot about cities and you want to give some feedback and some suggestions, or drop some lore as to why things are the way they are, that would be really super helpful, and I think it would be a great way to make this a community-driven city. So we're going to jump into Lakeland. I'm going to select the map, and I'm going to name this, our first city, St. Reginald. St. Reginald is the fictitious city that the zoo we built in Planet Zoo was made in. It was inspired by Chicago, Lincoln Park specifically, Lincoln Park Zoo. So there's probably going to be some Chicago vibes. Now, that being said, this map is not Chicago at all, and that's totally okay. We're just going to kind of go with the flow and see where the map takes us and where our ideas take us. So we are North American themed roads. We're going to use mostly North American themed buildings, but we will be sprinkling the European buildings in there. I'm going to leave natural disasters on. And what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into a time lapse. And I'm probably going to talk over the time lapse. For me, that's probably the only way I can comfortably play. If you want to see it done another way, you want to see some real time, we'll probably do some real time at the end to kind of take a slowed down look at what we did. That's kind of what I'm having planned for the first few episodes. And then maybe once I get more comfortable, we can reevaluate if it's whatever. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's see if we can get, something done. So we're going to jump in, we're going to take a look at the map, and then we're going to jump into a time lapse. So here's the map of Lakeland, of the future home of St. Reginald, which I think is pretty cool. Some things to think about right away. Our wind direction. We see that the wind blows this way. So I'm probably going to be putting my industry over here and letting it blow this way, with most of our residential and stuff over here. And it looks like we have lots of little islands to populate and develop. That'll be super neat. I'm excited to see what the natural resources look like on this map once that's all unlocked. Yeah, so let's get right on into it and start building. And I'll see all of you on the other side of this little cut. So the first major thing to do is to put down a road network. We're going to go heavily gridded, not all one giant grid. We're going to have our arterials twist and turn, and the grid will be established off of those arterials. Did want to flatten out a large chunk of land. This is most likely going to be, it is going to be our main downtown. I'm going to try and build and plan and develop organically. So this oldest part of the city is going to be the inevitable core and the eventual downtown. So putting in a bit of an angled road here. It won't be all grids, respecting that hill that's in this area here, trying to #respect the topography. But I think that those kinds of things are what help give some character and life to your city. Decisions like that will pay off in the character. A lot of the issues with SimCity 2 right now is a lot of the cities are kind of looking samesies because of the assets. And that sort of ties in with how I'm doing the grids here. My grid size will prevent large chunks of max zoning. Like the max size of a building is 6x6 squares. I think I have 10 cell blocks, so it'll be impossible to get 2 6x6 buildings. So that will offer some variation in the building sizes, which will offer some variation in the assets as well as we get going here. Once the basics of this grid was laid out, it was time to put in our utilities, water and sewage, and here we are hooking up to the world grid using a little alleyway. We will eventually be building our own power plant. One of the things that's a major drain on your income is having to import power, despite the huge upkeep costs of power and the utilities in this game. Being able to sell them really does help offset that. I'm flanking the main arterials here with commercial. 4x4 for now, smaller. It's the beginning. We can always redo it later. And that also you might be wondering, why are you just spamming the the residential there? Well, because for right now, I'm not paying too much attention to how this looks, because a lot of it is going to be redeveloped in the future. The game tends to want you to continually, or at least I found it's most successful when I continually rezone areas. And so that's what you're going to see here. This is just our basic starting little town. So we are going to go pretty heavy with the fill bucket, with the bucket tool for zoning here in the beginning. But as the demand for mid-residential comes online here, we'll be rezoning some of that lower density, which is why I'm not spending a ton of time with it. Still respecting topography when necessary, or sometimes we want to respect the grid, like there. Sometimes we just need to clear out a flat area. I think the industrial looks best on flat land. If you're concerned about zoning, about me just leveling the map, don't be. I think here, this main area that's going to be our eventual downtown needs to be relatively flat. So yeah, we got ourselves our first little special building here. I think it's the Rockstar Mansion. I'd like to set it off away from everyone, as if, they have their own little property. We can go in and detail that, make a nice hedgerow and things like that to really set it apart. Give it a winding drive there with the alleyway, and I like the little roundabout there. I think that's cute. I went to go and level, and man, that just barely didn't fit on the tile. Extending the road network now, going ahead and putting in this little river road. Not going to be a major road, but just kind of to close off that area. We can probably do some cool stuff with paths and things like that to make it kind of look like a little park. And perhaps someday we'll have some assets to make custom parks like we did in the original game. One of the things I'm finding that is a big deal, similar to the first game, is as these services come unlocked, you really should place them down. Your budget be damned. I have not had any problems with budget, even though I have been losing money here in the early stages. I do find that eventually, around 5 or 10,000 citizens, you do start making money relatively easily. And so it's just about this early stage, kind of sticking with it and running in the red with the subsidies and the bonuses you get for your progress. It's not a problem at all. So I haven't been too discouraged. That I have had a hard time budgeting balancing the budget. So this high school here, I like it up on the on the hill here, but I'm a little concerned with the that weird road. So there you go, busting the grid right away, huh? So had to buy some more tiles as we expand further in this direction. Again, flattening some things out, but I did want to leave that central hill as a bit of a focal point. We're going to make this the arterial go around it and connect back. Going to do some weird roundabout type things here. I do like the position of the cemetery a lot. I think that's a good place for it. And I think we're going to throw some parks in. We're going to unlock large parks. I like to unlock the parks pretty early on, really provide the leisure for the citizens, keep them nice and happy so they don't complain too terribly much. There we go, dropping in that teeny tiny roundabout, and that looks ridiculous. So I do go ahead and buy the new the larger roundabouts. Probably not going to be a ton of them. I mean, roundabouts aren't super common in the United States. There are a few here in Houston, at least down by the museum campus and things like that. So we are extending a little bit further. And after this, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring you back into real time, and we can take a look at where the city currently stands. So see you then. So here is the tiny little village of St. Reginald. It's a cloudy day. Look, the clouds. I do think that's pretty cool. The clouds cast shadows on your city. That's kind of neat. But you can see here as we zoom out, this is where the little town is currently sitting at. I'm sorry, the Grand Village, technically. The Grand Village. We're going to slow it down and let it play here. You get a good look at what we've done so far in this episode. And you can see, hopefully, the bones of something really good here. We have unlocked some parks. And so I want to add a couple small parks in the area. I think, hold on, I want to see. Can we add, oh, darn, that's not going to fit. Here's what I'd like to do. Oh, I can't delete that either. Well, I done messed up. I may have to remove that street. But anyway, we're going to add a park. I think a perfect place to add a new park is right in here. Let's add a small, what about a small plaza? Ooh, let's turn off snapping and let's make this fit in real nice right here. Oh, I like that a lot. And then we can go ahead and let's grab our path tool and let's see if we can't just make something kind of pretty here. Kind of nice. There we go. Oh, that wasn't nice. Let's add in some. There we go. And we're actually not connected here. Let's fix that. And then I'm going to go into my road tools, the crosswalk, get rid of some of these crosswalks. There we go. We have a nice little park area. We can doll that up with some little bit of detailing here. We'll add some lovely bushes. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, we'll add some bushes here. Let's use some linden trees. Let's make this a nice little park area. A couple clusters of trees. Throw in a couple large oaks. So in this game, the trees grow. I'm sure you're all aware. So the dotted line is what you can expect them to look like. And that also prevents you from making sure you place them too close to each other, which, I mean, whatever. That's fine. But there we go. Doesn't that look nice? That's a nice little park area. Where else can we squeeze a little park in? Perhaps over here in this corner. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's put one in here before we start developing. Why don't we do a dog park? Everyone loves a good old dog park. Bring your pooch to the park. Look at if we zoom in here. Isn't that cute? Look at that. It's got a hide the UI. Look at that. I mean, come on. Look at the little obstacle courses for the dogs. That's super fun. Not many people yet. You can see it's very open right now, but that'll all change here in the next few episodes. Another thing I'd like to do. Ooh, is it going to be tough? Now I want to see. Can I can add a monastery, and I can probably add both of the temple and the mausoleum. Probably not going to be able to add the columbarium. I'm sure I'm not even saying that right. But I think I like the ones that add well-being and attractiveness. That's pretty good. Now the question is, do we want to turn this into a large park area? If I were to move this and have it face Cozy Street and remove the intersection here on Foggy Street and turn all this into a park, let's see, is that an option? Let's see. Ooh, it is. Yes. Let's do that. And let's get rid of these here. No. You misunderstood my intention. We're going to de-zone all of you so you can't grow. Now I have this lovely square park area. And this is the perfect time, I think, to unlock park maintenance and large parks. We'll unlock sports parks another time. So now that we come in here, large plaza. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's really good. And then what about a small park? Will a small plaza fit? No. Campfire site? No, I don't want that. But a dog park? No, I think... No, that won't fit. I think a small park flanking... No, we don't want to do that, do we? No, I don't want to do that because that's going to ruin our development. Now, can I? Oh, I can't. Oh, I made a boo-boo. Oh, no. I'm going to delete that. Oh, everyone's so mad at me. But I do want to be able... And you know what? I don't want to place them yet because that's so much money. But I think I am going to place at least large city parks. Let's see. Can I fit one? Yeah. Let's flank it like that. I think that'll be good. And then we can even put a small playground right there. And then what we'll do is once we're a bit more, you know, not teetering on the edge. Oh, that's not bad. Minus $337 an hour. That's not so bad. What we can do is we can add in the, I mean, that's 11,000 and 7,000. Let's put the mausoleum in just so we are aware of what we're doing here. I think the mausoleum should go there. And then that should probably leave enough room. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress this up. We're going to turn this into a little bit of a major park area. And now we have a nice little park area. We can go ahead and decorate this a little bit. Why don't we go ahead and add some apple trees? That's cute. Why not? Let's line some apple trees along here just to make it look a little nicer. That'll be good. I don't use these cultivated. Do we want to use wild? I kind of like the wild. Let's use some wild bushes here and decorate our little park area. This is so nice. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of focus development around here. Like, I don't live here, so perhaps we start building some, you know, medium density here in this area. That'd be pretty good. You can see I've also gone ahead and I've added some a dump. I've added some waste management, a landfill, and yeah, we're moseying right along. I'm going to. I also added down here just a few offices. Going to kind of mix in some offices down here, and also mixed in some high density, low rent buildings. It looks like we have demand for another, so why don't I go ahead and put in another 2x2. I kind of want these all to look the same. I'm hopeful that we can get some similar looking things here. In fact, I might go ahead and just sort of zone this out, and once again use the, make a little complex here. We can put one, no, we can't put one there because of the zoning, unless we use an alleyway, which maybe might not be the worst idea, actually. Perhaps we should do that. Remove that crosswalk. Oh, I didn't connect it. I keep forgetting. You have to actually draw it up there. There we go. But if I were to draw an alley, you know, just a little alley, say, right there, certainly we'd be allowed to zone there, wouldn't we? What would happen if I zoned right there and right there? I think that would, oh yep, that would work. And then we can add another path, not connected to the side of the building. There we go. And now we have this cute little complex right here of these low rent, small little buildings. Perhaps these are factory workers. I mean, pretty close to the industrial. Not going to be very sought after. And the rest of us are all just hanging out here, living our best lives. We have some demand for some medium. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and let's start expanding our medium density this way. Let's add some row homes. Let's add some 5 across row homes. What I like to do is I like to bulldoze all these to make sure that they all grow in. And then once that one is grown in, you put the one on the corner so that they all grow in the same direction. And any ones that don't take up the full tile size, I do like to delete them. I think that makes a lot of sense. And you'll see here, we left a gap. Oh, looks like a perfect place for a path. Walkability, y'all. I don't know if this actually helps our walkability, but it looks nice. And then, of course, if we want to extend this in the future, make this a larger building, we can always just remove that path and zoom in. Look at this. What do we got down here? What's going on? We got ourselves a random electronics store. Huh, that's pretty cool. And a gas station. I'll tell you, the assets in this game are way better than they were in the first one. It's really nice. We have a fire. Oh no. Let's see. Oh, I hope someone's coming. They're dispatched. Where are they? Here they come. Oh, perfect timing. Let's follow them. How great. Look at the detail on this, though. And I love that we now have the European and North American siren sounds. Like, that's such a big thing. Like, think about it. That's one less mod you'll have to install once things get going. Only thing that kind of stinks is as they approach here. Look at that. As they approach, there's no Sims getting out and fighting the fire. That's kind of a bummer. I hope that perhaps in the future that will be added, because that's such a neat little detail. But you can see traffic is absolutely not an issue. Like, it's too early for traffic to be an issue. But I would like to look at our education. You can see that we have 276 students eligible and 273. I've never seen the full amount of eligible enrolled, so I don't know if there are some that just intentionally don't. The same is true for high school. We do have some college and university eligibility, but we're a little young still to be adding all of that. We don't have any transportation yet. It is unlocked. I think taxis would be the first step. Again, we're a little small. Perhaps in the next episode, we'll start thinking about some public transportation. So you can see here, these row homes have built in real nice, real nice. You can see you've got these medium density. I mean, that makes sense. I think the corners should be medium density. In fact, let's go ahead and let's give ourselves a nice little, we'll go 3 by 5 here. I don't know if there's a building that size. Nah, that's all right. We'll do a couple little, and then we'll turn these all into row homes. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty swell. Yeah, we'll let that all fill. Oh, here you go. Here's a good example. See, we're going to remove that, and we want them to be back to back, because that just is going to look so nice. Reminds me of when I used to live on the north side of Chicago. This was very similar to these we call them 3 flats. These 3 flats, and although you would have seen like decking all the way up for each floor, because these would have been 3 totally different apartments, and each one would have had deck space, and then the ground floor would have been shared communal space. So not quite what I'm used to, but pretty good. What was our LODs load here? But yeah, this is where we are at. We are just a small little grand village. I do want some thoughts from y'all about history here. I think rail and cargo ships, rail and port needs to be a big part of the city. I don't know. Perhaps over here on this side we can do a nice port area, or maybe over here. This is what we've got so far. I want to know your suggestions. What do you think would be a solid addition? Where should we go? Tell me about St. Reginald. What do you think? Based on what I've started, what speaks to you? Tell me the lore. Let's work on this together. Let's figure out a good story. Who's this guy? Why does he live in St. Reginald? Well, you know, who's this guy? What's his whole deal? Look at him in his fancy mansion there. Got a beautiful view of the tornado. There's a tornado over there. But like, who's this guy? In the Bro Nation world, who would that be? We're going to have regions, and we're going to have districts, and we're going to need names. We're going to have to name streets. Like, I need a name for the main street here. What are we calling it? We're calling it Sycamore Street? No, we need to call it like Bro Street. Why don't we call it Bro Street? Yeah, Bro Street. Now, the problem is the streets here in this game are kind of messed up. But for now, the main artery to this road, to this city, is Bro Street. Ranger Bridge? No, it's Bro Bridge. You need to call it Bro Bridge. Bro Bridge. And then, of course, this would still be Bro Street. So let's rename it. These are the things I need from... Ooh, HBG, no. Bro Street. That's what I need from you. Let's name some streets. Let's name some areas. Cemetery have a name? Who's the cemetery named after? You know, like, what's this park? If we were to make it a zone, let's make it a district. Let's call it a park. Here we go. Let's name it. It's a cute little rectangular park area. It's some kind of park. Name this. If you're familiar with Bro Nation, if you remember Bro Nation, give me some suggestions. What should we call this area? We're going to have downtown. This little area is going to be downtown. We're probably going to stretch it out and expand it. So that's where we're headed. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm having a blast with this game. I know a lot of people are kind of like, It is very samey. There's a lot that still needs to happen to make it great, but I think the bones are there, and I'm really excited to build a city with everybody. And with your suggestions, what do you want to see? What should we do with this city? These first few episodes are going to be just growing our population and figuring out what we need and figuring out where we want to go. And that's where I really need your help. So yeah, I am absolutely all ears. You tell me, what is going on with this city? What's its history? What's its lore? I'm thinking port. I'm thinking rail. And eventually this will be a bustling downtown area. Buses, maybe streetcars, and the works, a subway. I'd love to do an elevated metro, but I don't think we have an elevated metro stop, which is a shame, but that's okay. So, as we take a drive here, a saunter down Bro Street, I want to thank you for coming to this first episode. I know it's kind of all over the place and kind of weird, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited to share this game with you and share my thoughts and my playstyle, and I hope you're excited to see it too. And again, if you are, please do hit the like button. Leave some feedback below. What do you want to see? Tell me the direction you want to go, because I'm just kind of winging it. Oh man, that tornado is still going, isn't it? Look at that bridge. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But no, I'm excited. I hope you can tell. But yeah, in the next episode, we will continue expanding, growing, adding services. Perhaps we'll do some custom zoning. We'll do some farming stuff, get out of town a little bit, maybe start a second town. What's something that maybe you haven't seen in another series that you want to see me try and tackle? I'm a noob, but we can do it together. So I guess that's all I got for you. I'm going to leave you with some cinematics here of our tiny little village, our grand village. And then I'll see all of you all for the next episode. So with all that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And let's go to these townhomes. And I'll see all of you for the next episode of Cities Skylines II and St. Reginald. I'd like to live in one of these places. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.